Hey everyone, this is Real Estate Riches Podcast, and boy, is it going to be rich, full of the wealth and the tips and the tricks of all kinds of successful agents, because that's what you want to be, right? A business builder who has success in their business. Well, that's what we got going on here. And I'm going to have all kinds of agents, men, women, young or older, sharing all their stuff because there's technology, there's just how do you build your business? There's so many questions, right? So let's learn from some of the best. Gather your wealth and build your business. That's what this channel is all about. And I'm excited to bring it to you. I'm Kathy Byrnes and I'll be your host. And stay tuned. Let's get at it, right? Hey everybody, it's Kathy Byrnes here, and I'm here today with Malcolm Adams. Very excited about this Marine vet who's got a great history with him and lots to share with us. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here because I was reading over a little bit of your background from your LinkedIn and different things as I research a lot of my guests. And I just thought, boy, you've got an interesting background here. And I love working with military men or women because of the discipline and the focus that you put into your business for success. Would you
Yeah,
say that that's been beneficial to you?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I apply a lot of that. As I had mentioned earlier to you, I was in the Army and the Marine Corps. So I'm one
Yeah.
of the few people been to boot camp twice. And I was a communications sergeant in the Marine Corps.
Mm,
And I was a Gulf War veteran as well.
thank
So
you.
I think that it helps me, all of the military bearing helps me with this business because it requires discipline and focus
Mhm.
and mission oriented. So this is what we're trying to accomplish, and then you do everything you can to accomplish the mission.
Right.
So that is everything to me. But it
Hmm.
also makes me grateful. When you go through, I was through in the Gulf War, the first Gulf War with
Mm.
President Bush. And when you go through what I've gone through, and I was blessed, I wasn't a combat, I was a tech guy, but I
Mhm.
was with the combat guys, I supported them. And when you go through what you go through, when you come home, you have a greater appreciation for what we have here. I think a
Sure.
lot of people live in our luxury here, and they don't realize that it's 100 times worse other places
Yeah.
and that it can be much worse and much more dangerous and
Hmm.
that there's a lot of security. And I mean, we have a lot of things that we have to get right in America. We're a work in progress, but
Sure.
it's a great place. It's a great place to start. And if everybody focuses on helping us get better instead of
Yeah.
criticizing, I think we'd be in a better place. So all of that applies to my business.
Yes. I love that. I love that. So how long have you been in real estate?
Oh, I've been in real estate 20 some odd years. I went to Pratt, which is a art design, architecture, engineering school here in New York. I was a graphic designer coming out of college. So I used to be an art director at a publishing company first, and then
Mm.
I was an art director at a fashion company, which is
Oh,
a really weird background for being a Marine as well, but
yes.
it's the best thing. It was really like jumping from one world to the other, code switching one language for the next. It was really a fun way to live.
Yeah.
And so simultaneously with my career in fashion, I was already buying real estate and trying to dissect the
Mm.
business. So
Gotcha.
when I did marketing in both those businesses, so you can market real estate, you can when you're marketing clothing or marketing books or marketing real estate, it's all marketing. You
Yes.
learn your product and you just sell it. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I've been in like 20 years. I got my license, I believe in 2007 or something like that. And I've been an associate broker for about the last 3 years, 4 years. And I have my
Okay.
own little team and I'm rocking and
Nice.
rolling now.
All right. Well, I was looking through your Facebook page and I saw different homes that you were featuring, and I could see the eye of the artist in
Oh,
you of how you did it. Like I noticed the way you did your shot through the kitchen that took out to the balcony and picked up some red
yeah,
background that was subtle
right,
but elegant. And
right.
I'm like, oh, this guy knows how to lay out his pictures because isn't marketing a
Yeah,
huge piece of real estate?
yeah, yeah. You
It
tapped
is.
into it perfectly. When I saw your comment, I was completely delighted because you tapped into everything. Because one of the things that happened to me earlier, and this will happen to a lot of people in your audience, people will start to question. They'll be like, "Listen, you've been doing women's and men's clothing for 20 years. What makes you think you can do real estate, or why would you do real estate? Or it feels like a huge departure." And I was trying to explain to them, I'm saying, I'm trying to find a way to still express myself creatively, but make money. and the caveat to real estate is also more
Yes,
independence from a employer.
right.
But absolutely, I create portfolios of all my listings, no matter if they're rentals, no matter if they're sales. I have a portfolio that is time stamped and on the internet of everything that I've done. So you'll be able to go through from when I start in the business all the way through, see the quality change, see the photography changes. Now we do videos. Now we're doing drone. We're
Yeah,
doing floor plans. Yeah. And
yeah,
it's all important. And my pictures are gorgeous because my photographer, we get incredible depth of field. And what that means is oftentimes in pictures, you have an element of the picture that's in focus. But
yes.
ours, we're able to do the depth of field where almost everything in the image is in focus. So no matter how far away it is in the image, it's in focus.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, and that's a kind of photography where we're getting the entire depth of field
Yeah.
and compressing it all together. So absolutely, it's a creative portfolio of my business.
So that's another topic I want to touch on. But I mean, our marketing is essential, but it's also that we're visible. And you've created a portfolio. Do you have this on YouTube? Where do you have this?
Absolutely. I have a YouTube channel. I sent you all of my links, so you'll see the YouTube channel. And what's great is we're doing some really fun marketing where I love to talk to people directly because oftentimes when you and I are marketing, we're marketing with other professionals. So it's just
Yeah.
sort of business to business, which is fun. But the
Mm.
consumer is where you want to get interface with. So I'm always looking for new ways of interfacing with the consumer in the neighborhood where we want to do business. But
Ooh,
we
I
do a
love
lot of fairs. We do like you can do fairs right on the street. You can do little shows and stuff inside of the community. I'll sponsor a block association meeting or
it.
something like
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
then you can have your screen up, and in YouTube you can press play all videos. So it'll go through my entire channel one after another in chronological order and play all the videos back to back to back to back.
Oh my gosh, I never
Yeah.
thought of utilizing it that way.
It,
That's brilliant.
it is fun. And
It's
you just put it
fun.
on in the background while you're talking, and it's inevitably somebody say, "Oh my God, that drone shot! Oh my God, that fireplace! Oh my God, that brownstone!" And it plays in the background continuously. So I probably have, I don't know, 150 videos or whatever, and they just
Mm.
play continuously in a loop. And
Wow,
so,
I love that idea.
yeah,
That's brilliant. And I think one of the big things that people need to understand today as realtors, when you're doing your marketing, you need to be seen. You need to be visible. And YouTube is what that term evergreen, just like you said, you got
right,
150 videos. These are evergreen. People
right,
are doing searches. And you're also showing, if you're doing videos of those events, you're showing what it's like to live there,
exactly,
right? This is
exactly,
this is another piece that agents need to really pick up on
right,
because if you're like interviewing like a local brewery or a small shop owner or a boutique or all these different things, you are showing, first of all, you're making raving fans out of those people because they love the marketing exposure they're going to get.
right.
But you're showing what it's like to live in the area. You're building content for yourself. They don't need to be, long videos. Short videos are really what's it, 5 to 8 minutes. And I think that's really, really powerful. I love that nugget.
One thing I wanted to make sure that I reiterate to the audience is when I'm interfacing with people, I'm not selling.
Yes,
Imperative. I mean, you have to be immersed into what they care about. If
yes,
if somebody wants to sell, somebody's going to go to your LinkedIn and they're going to know that you sell real estate.
right.
So, we just, which is incredible. I own a couple of brownstones here in Bed-Stuy, and we've been
Mhm.
fighting for years, and we finally got landmark approval for this gorgeous, beautiful brownstone block,
Mm.
right? And I documented that entire process, the pictures
Oh,
and the community coming together and all of this type of stuff. And that engagement, the fact that we did that, and we just got word that it was approved yesterday.
oh, congrats.
Yes, yes, it's so incredible. And so just showing that journey, which just they go crazy, and people can understand, they can relate. There's a lot of gentrification happening here in Brooklyn. And
Hmm.
so it's nice to be able to save some of these precious neighborhoods that have long histories where
Yeah,
I welcome all of the development, but you got to make sure that you don't destroy these brownstones and you don't
right.
kick out these people.
Yes.
It was
We-
incredible.
Oh,
So
I
that's what I'm
love
saying.
that.
We're not selling all the time.
It's critical.
Yeah.
This is a relationship business.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be listening for the cues that maybe someone's giving you. However, the real listening that you're listening for is what do they need? How can I
Exactly.
help you? let them know they're being heard, right?
Exactly. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
come to me all the time after the meeting. Everybody's happy, everybody's great. And they say, I got an apartment that my cousin's moving out of, and I need to let me know what to do to make it marketable for the best rent. And there you
Mm,
go, you're in. And then you rent the apartment for years and years and years, and then somebody retires and they come back to you, and the only person they trust is the guy that made them 30, $40,000 over the course of 5 years.
yeah,
And then you end up selling the property or selling their friend's property.
yep,
So that's how I build relationships. You just stay engaged with your community and not always selling. It's not about selling for me. It's
right.
about being a resource for people.
That's exactly what I do on this channel. My whole thing is about empowering, teaching, finding the nuggets that so many of us have to offer. As a matter of fact, this particular episode will be on a radio show. I'll have that link in here. And that has it's played itself in addition to all the podcast channels. So
Right.
people have told your play will be everywhere, which is great.
Mm,
And you can share it with your friends and say, here's a resource where you can learn from all kinds of realtors on every single
absolutely.
subject. And I'm excited to have you as a part of that. I'm excited to be a part of it
I
all.
am too. This is I'm telling you that everybody, my mom's gonna get it. It's gonna be great.
I love it. So tell me, what do you think about ChatGPT? Do you
I
utilize
love
it?
it. I love it.
Oh,
I'm a tech guy. I remember when I was in at Pratt in design, and everybody was really afraid that the computer was going to take over design.
right.
And to be honest with you, for me it was a survival mechanism because everybody at Pratt, it was like going to the best art school on earth, and everybody was so talented, and I had such insecurity. So I
Mm,
wrapped myself around the technology because creative people don't always embrace technology early. I
mm,
embraced it early. I wrapped myself around it, and so I was into Apple and all the computers and apps early.
me
And so
too.
I was always comfortable with it. And so ChatGPT is just another tool.
Yeah,
It's already saved me thousands because I used to hire people to write all of my listing copy.
yep.
Now I just do quick outlines, just put it in ChatGPT.
Boom.
They write it out elegantly. You can change the voice to
Yes,
passive or aggressive or
right.
floral or whatever. And hopefully my friends, the vendors that I used to hire to do writing, hopefully they find another because there's still a need for the human writing
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
because the writing that I get is very antiseptic. It's very, yeah, it's very antiseptic, but it's good for our purposes. So we're
Right,
still going to need human writers to write from human experience.
right,
But for everything else, clinical writing, legal, no, right into ChatGPT, it does all the sourcing for you. It comes back
yes.
to you correct. Put it right on the internet and go to work.
Right. I have another channel and it's Tech Savvy Realty Solutions is the name of it. And I was telling my daughter, I said, man, we need, she partners with me on it. And I said, we need to create a new chat, which I learned from her that you can create your own chats.
Absolutely.
And so she said, let's do one where we teach them how to study for the real estate exam in every state. And I said, yes, let's do that. So we
Wow.
created a chat that does exactly that. So we had to go through where we do, you could upload your chapter that you were
Mhm,
studying. You just
mhm.
upload it in, it analyzes it, and it already knows it's waiting for you to upload it. It already knows that how it's going to divide it all up and create the multiple choice questions. It's going to go through each chapter at a time, and it's going to wait till you get them all right. And the ones that you get wrong, it's going to keep those there. It's going to shuffle them up, change up the way the question is asked so that you really absorb it. And it's going to take it's study buddy. It's
I
a little
love it.
study buddy, and it'll do it for every single state. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
And I said, what if your primary language is not English? There's a
right.
lot of Latinos. There's a lot. They think in their own language first, but you can, and I said, could you do it in Portuguese? Boom, done. I
Right.
like, what?
I
And
think
so
that's incredible.
it's incredible. And
Yeah,
it really maybe took us 15 minutes to create that.
right. Yeah.
Incredible.
And that's
So
what we're trying to tell people. It's just,
yes,
that's what the tool is. Because oftentimes, because everything you want to know, we're living in an incredible age. You were
mhm,
talking about YouTube earlier. Everything you want to learn, you want to do open heart surgery, you can find that out on the internet, on YouTube or something like that.
yeah,
Obviously, you won't be able to perform it unless you have a license, but You can learn the outline of whatever you want to do. And so
Anything.
we have a lot of new Americans, is what you're referring to, because we're getting people from the Ukraine in our company. We're getting people from all parts of Europe that English is their second language, but they're practicing real estate in New York. So to
Yes,
do what you're talking about is a lifesaver.
it
Some people have
is.
to take the test two, three times to pass it because English is their second language.
Yes,
You can cut that in half. And
yes,
so that's the power of it. It's not replacing anything. It's helping us organize our thoughts. It's
right.
giving it. And I think when you look at the way that it organizes, it helps you learn how to organize because that's really the key to everything.
Yes, yes,
That's the key. All the information is out there. We need to know the pace in which we absorb it and what's relevant currently and what's something that's passively relevant. And
right.
it helps us organize. And I think it's incredible what you've done.
Oh, I'm a maniac for it. And as a matter of fact, when they came out with 4.0, I was like, obsessed. I did every possible YouTube video. I was all over TikTok. I want to know every bit about it. I loved the part with the app where I could just talk to it back and forth. We could banter.
Yeah.
So I was testing it out and I said, hey, I'm going to Lisbon, Portugal, and I hear there's something funky with the streets, with some cobblestones. What is that about? And she goes, oh, that sounds like a wonderful trip. I go, yeah, it is. I
Now,
know.
now you're like a crazy person walking on the street. I
It
love
was
it.
so great. And she
Yeah.
goes, yes, they're slippery and they're big hills. And here's the kind of shoes that you need to wear. I said, oh my gosh, it was
Wow.
awesome. And that's it. It helps us get creative on
Right.
how to utilize it.
Yeah.
And the more that you do, like just telling you about that today, it's going to trigger something in your mind.
Right.
I need, if you wanted to know how to create your own chat, you just ask it, how do I do it? It tells
Right.
you.
Right. And I think I am because I hadn't used that aspect of it. But so I think that I will. But what I'm getting out of this mostly, and I think that this is really exciting for me, is that both of us are over 50 and
Yep.
both of us, this is our second, third career.
Hmm.
And to know that there is a place where we can be vital, that
Yep.
we can continue to learn, because that's the secret of being youthful is learning, staying curious, and
Yep.
continue to challenge yourself. You can't get sedentary. And so what this banter that we're having and the chat GPT and the embracing of technology at our age,
Yes.
all of that stuff is that mental exercise, all of that stuff that's the fountain of youth
Youth.
right there.
That
So
is youth right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Excite just this talk has excited me to that premise. So I appreciate it.
I'll be 74 next month.
There
Man,
you
I'm
go.
just on fire.
I love it.
I'm so excited about where we are in life right now. And I'm so excited. I'm excited with the company that I'm with, that it's a tech company. Yours is a tech company.
Yeah,
And, it just gives us opportunities, like you said. And I was at that convention. I can't remember if I just told you this or not, but one of the things that they said at the very beginning is think bigger. And I'm
right.
like, I think pretty big, but I'm gonna think bigger. And I'm going to think really big now. And you
Right.
can too, because you're in New York. So you have all kinds of international clients, right?
Yeah,
So,
I did some great. My client from Canada, we ended up buying a hotel in Chelsea. Incredible. So we've started to do more and more of that. And we have a huge referral network. I work with a Compass here in New York.
yep,
My office is in Williamsburg, which is a beautiful, trendy part of Brooklyn, which is right off of I believe it's the East River. Yep. You can see the Manhattan skyline.
beautiful.
And we get a lot of referrals from all over the world that want to
Sure.
live in the area. My tenants, I have tenants from China, from one guy is from Africa. So yeah, so it's
So,
there.
and because you have that, now you can think global, which is
Right,
how I've switched my business
right,
to have an incorporated piece of that. So I have agents now in these other countries that I am referring business to because, out of the country, Canada has an MLS, but all these other countries, they do not have an
yeah,
MLS
I know.
and they don't have exclusivity on their listings. So
Right,
you could get 5, 10 people on one listing and whoever wins, wins, but you've invested all this money to market it. What the
right.
heck is that about? So I said, well, this friend of mine in Portugal, they're a luxury agency. I said, give me some pictures, give me some details. I'm going to start marketing Portugal
Right,
and I'm going to do this on a weekly basis. And so then I started doing it and I keep saying, if you need somebody that, somebody that wants to live in Portugal or retire or invest over there, I got a guy. I got a guy for you.
I
And think
love
of
it.
me and I will refer. Because the referrals, outgoing referrals on a luxury property, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So it's a good way to make a living. We do
It's,
a lot of that. Our whole premise is built on referrals. So
yes,
I do close deals everywhere. I have a deal I just closed in California from
yes.
a client of mine that we sold. I sold her condo here in New York for 1.3, and they
Hmm.
moved to California. And it was just a rental because they weren't ready to buy yet. They wanted to recover because it was a big emotional type of sale. So they just needed to just chill. So I referred it in my referral network. I have people
Yep,
all over the country, and
yep.
it went there and it was incredible. We're doing a deal in Florida right now, doing a land deal in Texas, Southern
Hey,
Texas.
so
Yeah.
you're doing it
So,
right.
and then we have developments. We have developments in Mexico, Costa Rica, and in Santo Domingo.
So
So yeah,
you're already doing it big. And
absolutely.
this is what agents, they're thinking in their own little backyard,
Yeah,
and I say, no, think bigger. And first of all, that's easier business too.
yeah, yeah.
If I,
Because
I,
they
I
do
can,
most of the work.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm the connector, but
right,
I'm not just any connector. You don't just get the business. My reputation is on the line. I'm going to vet you, make
right,
sure you can do the job, buddy, you
right,
know? And so my clients will trust me,
right,
and we have great systems just like you do too. So I can track down whoever wanted to work. I can talk with them on the phone. I can see their background, what they're doing, and feel comfortable referring it out and negotiate whatever the referral is, right?
right,
It isn't
right.
just a flat fee. And I like outgoing referrals a
I
lot.
do too. And ours is we have a element of our platform called oh my God, it escapes you right now, but we can track the workflow. So you know where it is, where the search is. Here are the 30 properties they were searching. Here's the price point. You can
Yeah.
see it all.
Nice.
And then and the money is just wired into your account when the transaction is done. In fact, I have a dear friend of mine who went to Pratt with me when we were kids, like 30 years ago. And
Hmm.
she is an agent in Philly, and she's not even with Compass because you don't have to be with Compass
Right.
to this. And so she had a friend of a friend that owned a stunning brownstone here in New York. I put it on the market for 2.3. She and I negotiated the referral fee. It's in contract now. We're closing in about 30 days. And we have it all set up where they don't want to wire. Her company wants the check mail, but I'll FedEx it to her. But
Hmm.
she's going to get her referral fee. And it's a big deal. It's over $2 million deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah. It's a big
Yeah.
referral thing,
Big
right?
referral. And
Yeah.
once you get that good feeling and she knows how I work,
Boom.
every time somebody comes up in New York is that place. You know,
Yes.
you live in these Chicago, New York, LA, these big places where people are going in and out all the time. There's
Yeah.
always referral business.
Yes. I love it.
So right now it's only about 10% of my business, but I project going forward it'll be like 30% of my business.
Oh, it's going to be probably 70% of mine because at my age, you know what I mean? I don't want to do the other stuff. Let me just do the outgoing referrals.
Right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And I can make a great living at it with
Right.
outgoing referrals. That's
Right.
the beauty of this business. Get creative, people.
Right, right. And focus it on the type of business you want to do. Like at this
Yes.
point in my life, I do everything. Like I'm doing rentals, I'm doing whatever. The only thing I don't do is I don't do rentals from the renter side of the house. That's a
Mm.
nightmare. But I get the listing, I have the exclusive on the listing. I'll do rentals because it's a great way to continue to market my business
Yep.
to the
Yep.
public. And it's a great way to get trust with the landlord. So eventually, if they want to sell or more and more rentals, there's some of my clients, I do all of them and all their buildings.
Wow.
So, and that's a
Well,
great business.
And I think that is unique to your state. It isn't the same way in a lot of other places because I've interviewed a couple people out of New York and Manhattan, like you are, and they talked about that, and I didn't grasp that before. Like, I would not want the listing of a rental on a house here. First of all, I wouldn't make any money. Even my relationships would be forever. Now, what I made was a relationship with a property management company who handled it, and they said to me, if I brought them the opportunity, they said,
Right.
if they want to sell it, you'll be the agent that gets the deal. And I don't need the referral, which is even better.
Right. No, so we do that too. I actually am a partner with a property management company,
Mm,
and it's for that exact reason. First of all, the reason I do rentals because our rentals are huge. Like
yeah.
I have a whole building that I'm renting, and each apartment is $4,000 or $5,000, and I get 1 month's rent.
Oh,
So
wow.
in a lot of smaller markets, the $5,000 is a sales commission.
Yeah.
But more to the point, the owner owns the whole building, and
Wow.
he owns other buildings. So you
Yeah,
can't allow, I don't know how it is in your market, but I cannot allow somebody else to be his rental agent
of
and for me
course.
to be his sales. I can't allow that. So
I
I have
get
people that work for me. So if it becomes too much of a pain, I can have other agents take the business. Long as I'm servicing the client, I can
right.
have somebody else do the business. But no, I can't allow anybody else to do the rental for my clients.
Yeah. We don't have buildings that have that kind of scenario here, so that's the
It's all
difference.
single family homes, right?
Yes, pretty much that.
Where
Although I'm in North Carolina, Charlotte area.
Oh, I'm gonna be, isn't it? No, we're gonna be in South Carolina. The Compass Retreat is gonna be in Charleston, South
Oh,
Carolina.
fun.
Yes, yes. I cannot
That'll
wait.
be
I go every year to all the different retreats. I love the events. I love meeting people. So
too.
we're gonna be there a week. Well, the convention's like 3 days, but I'm gonna stay a week, probably run to Myrtle Beach.
Ooh,
We're gonna,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah, you and I think a lot alike. I can tell because I go to every single event. The energy that's there, the things that I can learn, the
yeah.
connections that I can make, I wouldn't miss them. I wouldn't
No,
miss
I
them.
love it. And I just wrap it into it's just business for me. It's
Yeah.
business and pleasure. Like I went to Mexico. I'm looking to buy a condo in Mexico.
Where? Because
And
I got a guy.
it was in Tulum.
Uh,
And so the company that I'm representing, and they allow me to represent them in New York City trying to sell their product. Now, I don't feel comfortable doing that unless I own and I know the process. And so I was going through the process myself. And
mm,
I had to fly myself to Mexico, but everything else was on them. They put us in the room, they took us
ooh,
out to dinner, everything. And we went to the construction site of where the
nice.
condo was being built. It was the
Wow.
most exciting thing. And I took my wife with me. We wrapped our anniversary into it. And that's what I'm saying. So it was
Yes.
business pleasure, you know what I'm saying? But we
Yeah.
went there and it was incredible. On
Yeah.
the beach, this is your condo. Here's your jacuzzi will be here. And yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
I feel it.
It was incredible. So I do that kind of stuff, and I'm actually going to be doing more of that. Just
Good.
wrapping the business into my pleasure and just going to each one of the sites, learning about it. I want to do my own development one day, so I want to
Mm,
figure out how that works
hmm.
and what their profit margins are and what's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
turnaround. Yeah, so
That sounds
it's
wonderful.
exciting. It's super exciting.
Well, you've been an exciting guest. I'm glad we had
Thank
you
you.
on today.
Thank
And I just want to thank you for that. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Spread the word. These kinds of interviews are incredible. Had great speakers on here and lots of wisdom. So I hope you got some great nuggets. So again, thank you, Malcolm, and see you later, everybody.
Thank you guys. Appreciate the time. Take care.
So thanks for joining me on this episode of Real Estate Riches. Wasn't that great? I'm sure you got a nugget or two. I know I did. So if you liked it, please subscribe below, share it with everybody, make some comments. We really find that invaluable. And if you're thinking that you would love to talk about this a little bit more, let's schedule a business strategy call. I'll have the link below. And let's see if we can't mastermind together and see if we can empower each other. That would be great. So until next time, signing off. Hope to see you on the next one.